Hello, welcome to Gopala Astrology channel. So from today onwards, I'm going to change the name of this channel as Gopala Astrology and Wellness channel because I'm very enthusiastic to introduce the healthy food and healthy diet plans in addition to the astrological knowledge that I'm sharing with you guys. All right. So today I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic about a two-meal diet plan. And I told you in the previous video what to eat, especially the millets. And now I'm going to tell you how to eat it, how to eat the food in order to get the best out of our health. Okay, so keep watching this video till the end. I'm going to give you several examples of the success plans about the doctors who have practiced it and also many people in our health campaign. Okay, so I'm a strict follower of Dr. Jagannath Dikshit's two-meal diet plan for last 3 years, and I have found amazing results. And I want every one of you to really listen to this pattern. If you're already following it, I'm going to emphasize the science behind this, and with proper understanding, when you really practice this two-meal diet plan in your regular routine, I'm very sure that you will come out of all your medicines and pills and all that. Like what Dr. B.M. Hegde always keeps saying, for every pill there is an ill. So if you remove the pill totally from your daily routine, you'll become a healthy person. Okay, that's the aim of this lecture today. Please stick on to this video till the end. If you are new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. I need more and more encouragement. Thank you. Friends, let's go to the actual video today. The topic I have told you already: two-meal diet plan for weight loss and healthy living. So there are two aspects here. You are going to lose weight and gain health. This is the topic today. All right. So I call Dr. Jagannath Dikshit as the father of two-meal diet plan, which is very interesting and very simple to follow in our day-to-day routine plan, irrespective of whether you're a vegetarian person or a non-vegetarian person. Doesn't matter. All right, so once there was a saying from Hippocrates. He said that let the food be the medicine and medicine be the food. So if you really follow this, whatever is there in your kitchen is good enough to keep you really healthy. All right, so let's welcome to this let's welcome you to this life-changing experience. I assure you, if you listen to the whole of this talk and then follow this clearly, I will assure you that tomorrow is not going to be the same as today. If you are having a bulky body today, you are already diabetic or pre-diabetic, it doesn't matter. If you are an obese person, if you just follow these instructions clearly, understanding the science behind it, I'm very sure, I guarantee you that you will be a perfectly healthy person. All right. So I always give a lot of respects to Dr. Jagannath Dikshit, B.M. Hegde, and also Dr. Jiskar, who is actually the person who did all the research work on the topic that I'm going to talk today. And it was well practiced and explained to masses by Dr. Jagannath Dikshit. Okay, I'm just a health activist, and I'm very enthusiastic to explain you guys the science behind this two-meal diet plans, why we have to have this, and what is the benefit. Okay, so I'm not a doctor, I'm not a practicing nutritionist or a diabetologist or a fitness expert, but I'm a practical man who has implemented this two-meal diet plan strictly for last 3 years, and I can assure you I'm taking zero pills to keep up my health. Okay, so that's the purpose of this campaign. Okay, we will make an international guideline for treating diabetes, and we can, if we tell this to the entire world, we can make this world free from diabetes, because diabetes is one of the largest diseases in the world today. Okay, obesity and diabetes has become too much in such a way that one in five people you pick in the world or having diabetes, and one in maybe 10 persons are prone to cancers. All right, so the only way to prevent this is to understand the science behind it. Don't go behind the pharmacists and pharmacological companies who are too money minded. Okay, let's make this world a healthy one. So at the end of this talk, the thing that you can expect is you are going to reduce your weight, you are going to reduce the waist circumference, and you are going to reduce what is known as HbA1c level. I'm going to explain this a little later in a bigger manner. And then also we have to reduce what is known as the fasting insulin. So HbA1c and fasting insulins, these are the two important things that we need to quantify it down. Okay, we can always measure it, and we can see the health of the individual by these two numbers only. Okay, so what do I expect from you guys? Whoever is seeing this video, whether it is for the first time or you can rewind this so many times and see this, because there is a lot of science in this video, trust me. Okay, I want you to follow this diet plan for at least 3 months. Give me 90 days. Just I'm asking you the 90 days of your life, and we can change your uh, current situation. Okay, and if you are convinced, if you really see good results like what I have seen myself, and you can go ahead and tell others. Okay, and join this health campaign. Let's make this world a healthy one. Okay, and I'm giving this 100% free of cost. I do not want a single cent or a dollar from any of these campaigns. I'm doing this holistically on my own. Okay, now, why normally people fail to lose the weight? That's the key point here. We must understand. See, there are so many things like Herbalife. I don't want to mention the brands. There are so many milkshakes they will give you. They ask you to do that diet plan, this one, that one, eat only cabbage, for example. So many diet plans are there in the world, but they are not successful. You know why? We are human beings. We like to eat. If you are an Indian, for example, you like to eat samosas, you like to eat idlis, dosas, all the fried stuff once a while, because our taste buds are like that. Okay, so we may strictly do it for 1 or 2 months, we may reduce our weight, but the moment you stop doing that and take all the other tasty foods, which are really junk foods, then you will gain back the weight. Okay, and that's why there is a lot of failure in any of the health campaigns that people are really putting it as a costly diet plans. So now, of course, I'm just showing you this. There are people who are crazy. I don't advise anyone to burn the fat like this. Of course, there are many techniques that are available. There are people who are going for surgery of their stomach, cut the stomach into a smaller part so that you eat less, and this is very cruel way. And there is another way to reduce the belly fat by liposuction methods. They are going to do a surgical procedure for you. They are going to extract the fat from the belly. Actually, this is really not the right way to do this weight reduction. Okay, now let's go to the actual things what has been practiced and practiced for many years now, until 2015, I can say. So this was a very common method practiced by the normal physicians, GPs, general practitioners. They will ask you to check the blood glucose level. They will ask you to go in a fasting position in the morning, ask you to test the blood and urine, and then after you take your meal, the first meal or the breakfast, will check the random sugar level again. And they have a number like this. What is normal is 70 to 100 milligrams per deciliter, and if it is a random sugar testing, it's going to be 70 to 140 milligrams per deciliter. So they will tell you if anything is beyond 140, they will label you as a diabetic or a pre-diabetic, and so on and so forth, right, according to this table. Now, I consider this table as obsolete, because testing of glucose is just not enough. Okay, pricking and pricking, please put a full stop to this, because it's not going to really guide you to the health. The reason is, See, for example, if I'm an athlete, I need to run, I need to do a lot of exercise, I need more glucose. The body is going to convert that and then put a lot of glucose into my blood so that it is distributed to various parts of my body to keep my metabolism in tandem, right, with my requirements. Suppose I'm a lecturer in a college, I just need a little bit of glucose. Maybe the body doesn't convert and put so much of glucose. So the body is smart. It's going to make the sugar level or the glucose level balancing according to the need of the body. So if you keep measuring that just like that, it will mislead you. It doesn't tell you whether you are a diabetic patient or not. The right way is now HbA1c. Okay, what is HbA1c? It is something like this. Imagine our blood has got WBC, RBC, and platelets, and so on and so forth. We are going to use that part of the RBC, wherein you have the hemoglobin, right? So what is hemoglobin? Hemoglobin is a content in the blood. It is going to carry our oxygen to various parts of the body. All right. So if you take the example for a common man understanding, if you see this is the molecule of one molecule of hemoglobin, you can see the yellow dots are nothing but glucose molecules which are binding onto it. So more yellow dots, more HbA1c, and you have to be careful. So the chart is very simple. It's something like traffic signal, what is given here. Okay, below 5.7% of this HbA1c, you consider yourself as the best and healthy human being. Okay, between 5.7 to 6.4, we call it as pre-diabetic condition, and anything above 6.5 is a kind of concern. That means you have a lot of glucose embedded. And the beauty of this HbA1c test is that it's going to measure your performance of your body in terms of glucose metabolism for it takes an average of 3 months. So it's the 3 months performance. So this is very important. Rather than just checking the blood glucose level, if you just measure this HbA1c, you will know what was happening in your last 3 months performance. Right? So this is more scientific one. And again, we need to do what is known as fasting insulin. This is very, very important. You need to make sure you have to reduce the insulin, because insulin is that hormone which is really the hero as well as the villain of our diabetic story. Okay, I'm going to tell you what is insulin now. Let's try to put some effort to understand what it is. Insulin is an anabolic hormone that produces and promotes the glucose uptake. Okay, whatever glucose that has to reach to every cell of your body. We have more than 1 trillion cells in the body. Every cell needs glucose. So it is only possible with the help of an insulin. We can get the glucose or energy into these cells. Okay, so the reverse process of that is known as glycogenesis. Lipogenesis is fat conversion into the fat, and then protein synthesis of skeletal muscle. So many functions it has got, right? It helps to absorb the glucose into the cells. It also helps in converting. If you have an excess of glucose, it is helpful in converting that into glycogen and store it in your liver. And more you have glucose, it will convert it into fats and things like that. Okay, so this is very, very interesting. Now, so much work insulin is doing for you. And with that background, let's try to understand what is type 1 and type 2 diabetes. See, type 1 is totally a genetic disorder, I can say. I'm not going to talk about type 1 diabetes here because the body, the pancreas, basically, the pancreas doesn't produce enough of insulin in your body. It becomes a medical condition. You really need to inject the insulin. There is no other way. It happens one in 10,000 or 1 in 100,000, I can say. So this is out of the scope of today's talk. I'm only talking about type 2 diabetes or diabetes mellitus. What is type 2 diabetes? Type 2 diabetes is a situation wherein all your cells you know, all your body cells would have become resistant to the insulin, and there is a lot of secretion of insulin. There is a lot of secretion, and then your body is trying to resist the insulin. So this is what we have to. We can control this. We can reverse this. Okay, and that's what we are going to do here. Try to understand what is insulin resistance in this particular slide. Okay, so for example, once we eat the food, okay, it gets converted into basic three molecules. One is the glucose, another one is the amino acids. The proteins becomes amino acids, and the fat becomes fatty acids. Any food you eat, we will convert them into only these three types of end products. Okay, so now let's consider glucose, one of the main end products from the carbohydrate digestion, that is represented here as G. And then once this G enters into the blood, after the full digestion process is completed and the absorption of that happens into the blood, then it sends the signal to the brain, and then brain commands the pancreas to release what is known as insulin. Okay, let's put insulin as I with a circle, G and a hexagon, both are there in our bloodstream right now. Now, let's take the situation of every single cell in the body. Every single cell in the body looks something like this. It will have what is known as a door. A green color door is seen here, and then open and close the door, there is a mechanism here. There is a lock and key mechanism. So the lock here is a half moon shaped lock. For that, insulin will come, and then it will simulate it and make it open, unlock it. So only when insulin comes and unlocks this lock, this door opens, the glucose enters into the blood. Glucose enter into the cell. So only then we are able to energize that cell, and so on and so forth. Right? So if this keeps happening, if you keep eating more and more food, what happens? It is something like this. The insulin will be released more and more, because a lot of food is coming, so the glucose, the pancreas will secrete more and more insulin. So when too much of insulin is there in the blood, these locks will become too much overwhelmed by insulin, and they will change their structure. The lock will get changed to a new structure, and then this key of insulin cannot open the door, okay, door of the cell, and the glucose cannot enter into the cell. It remains too much in the blood, something like this. If it is a normal condition, the glucose molecules are like this. If it is diabetes, there's a lot of glucose molecules floating everywhere. Okay, and this condition is actually known as insulin resistance. It is something like this. For example, I have a friend in New York, Manhattan, and I live in New Jersey, for example. See, if I dial my friend and tell him that I'm coming for a seminar in Manhattan, I'll be there. Can I stay in your house? My friend will say, yes, yes, it's good. My friend Gopala, please come to my house and you can stay. You've done a lot of good things to me. Why not? So I will go there. Let us say I stay in his house for 3 days, and then I finish my seminar, come back. And if once a while I go, it's fine for my friend. If not, if I continuously keep calling him, hey friend, can I come to your house? What happens? This guy will say, no, 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 friend, I'm not in New York now. I'm out of town. I'm in some other place in Boston, and things like that. So he will resist my visit. Imagine I'm the insulin there and he's the cell, and too many times I keep frequenting to his house, and he's going to say no. Right? That is what he's developing a resistance to me. That is what the cells also will do. Right? So once this happens, too much of insulin keeps on producing, because the brain always thinks, oh, there is no absorption of glucose into the cells, and they will send more and more insulin, and this becomes a state, in medical term we call it as hyperinsulinemia. Okay, so that's what is happening here, my friend. If you go to a subway station, you will see these things happening. You can call the general public as glucose, and these supporting officers as insulin. And this is the cell. The train itself is the cell. You can see how much they can push. Okay, keep on eating. You keep on eating. Too much of food is there. It is converting into glucose, and then you will have a lot of problem. People cannot move in the subway, right? Exactly same situation is happening. Exactly same situation is happening in our real life, okay, in terms of sugar metabolism. Right, so this hyperinsulinemia is the root cause of all type of problems. It is not just diabetes. It can be gangrene development. It can be kidney problems. It can be many things. Obesity. Okay, I have listed many things here. You can take a screenshot of it, and you know that these are all the results of higher level of insulin in your body. Finally, what happens is the person becomes obese, and this is going to give you n number of diseases like pulmonary diseases related to the heart or alcoholic. Even though you are a non-alcoholic person, you may have fatty liver disease, all right, gallbladder disease, so on and so forth. All types of diseases, you can name it, you will see that all the root cause is because of hyperinsulinemia. I can say 90% of the disease, even the cancer, right? You can see that I'm giving you the older statistics, which I just picked it up, 2014 data. It says that 9.4 million cases. This is ridiculous. So many cancer cases are detected in the world, and now it's 2021. I can say it would have multiplied almost 1.5 times or 2 times. Right, 6.5 million people are really dying out of cancer. This is the realistic data taken from WHO of 2014, and now it should be much much higher number, my friends. So 200 years ago we did not know what is cancer, but now it's developing like a very very bad disease everywhere. Okay, cancer is uncontrolled growth of abnormal cell. So who is feeding this abnormal cell? It's the glucose, it's the sugar in your body. So these abnormal cells which are growing will be always using excessive sugar in the body, right? Reduce the insulin, automatically it will reduce the sugar level in the blood, and automatically you can get out of cancer and diabetes easily. Okay, so now let's go to I have told you several problems, but there is an answer, real honest answer. Okay, an honest research was done by Dr. Jaskar. He's from Maharashtra, and outstanding job. He did a lot of research. So many studies were conducted, and he has come out with this 2 meal diet plan, which you can realistically practice it in your day-to-day routine job. This is what Dr. Jagannath Dikshit practiced and then propagated it all over India. It has become viral now. Okay, so what is the theory of Dr. Jiskar? How did he come out with this 2 meal diet plan, and what is the science behind it? I am always a follower of science. If I am convinced there is a logic in this, I will follow it. I don't want you guys to just blindly follow whatever is being told in YouTube videos and all that stuff. I'm not saying that all other videos are bad, but follow the logic. There should be a logic which is universally acceptable one. Okay, so what's the theory here? So the raised level of insulin causes obesity. I already told you this. Okay, insulin secretion for a normal human body happens in two ways. Okay, one is called the baseline secretions. So there is a particular unit to measure it. It can vary from 18 to 32 units for every individual. All right, now the insulin secretion can happen in two different eating episodes. One is expected. See, for example, you eat any food, okay, automatically it sends a stimulation to the pancreas, and the brain tells to produce insulin. All right, so it doesn't matter you eat one samosa or one idli, or you eat the full meals, it is still going to be one secretion of insulin, which will be anywhere between 18 to 32 units. I hope I'm making it very, very clear. Okay, and once the pancreas starts secreting the insulin, it will run for 55 minutes and stops. So if you continue to eat beyond 55 minutes, the brain will think that I need to produce more insulin, so it will start going down with the next insulin secretion. It can be anywhere again between 18 to 32 units depending on the individual. All right, so this is very, very, very critical to understand. I hope I am making it very, very clear. So if you take the food, automatically the brain senses that I need to release insulin. Now, please understand, whenever you take the food, I told you it will only be converted into three types of end products. So one is the protein, it will get converted into amino acids, the carbohydrates that will get converted into glucose, and fat becomes fatty acids. Now, if I am a cell, for example, if you burn 1 gram of protein, the cell is going to release 4 calories of energy. If I am a cell, if I burn 1 gram of carbohydrate, which is the glucose, I'm going to get 4 calories of energy. On the contrary, if I burn 1 gram of fat, that is fatty acid, I'm going to get 9 calories, right? Obviously, between the three choices, what I would like to burn, I want to reduce my workload and get more energy, right? So I would like to burn the fat cells first. But unfortunately, because we are eating too much of carbohydrates, the body is not getting chance to burn the fat cells because the glucose is always continuously being stored as glycogen and fatty acids because we are eating too much, more than what is required. In my previous talk, I had already told you we are having an average of about 5.5 to 6 liters of blood, and every 1 liter of blood needs only 1 gram of glucose. Anything more than that is an excess, and the body has to fight too much to convert it into glycogen or fatty acids and so on and so forth. Right? So I'm giving you a lot of details. Please stick on to this video and understand. Okay? So now, what is the solution? What is that Dr. Jagannath Dikshit and Dr. Jiskar has suggested this? Okay, please understand, everybody will get hungry, really hungry, okay? 2 times in every 24 hours, 2 times. It is different for different people, okay? So it can be anywhere between 10:30 to 11. I've just put a number here, okay? It can be 12 o'clock. It's your time. So we can call that as meal 1. So whenever you get hungry in the morning or right at the noon time, please have your full meals, okay, and call it as meal 1. There is nothing called breakfast and all that. That's obsolete now. It was just introduced by the British, and that culture came everywhere. But actually, in India, 200 years ago, there was nothing called breakfast, okay. Everybody used to have meal 1 and meal 2. And second meal, you need to give a gap here and then identify the time that you are really hungry in the evening. Some people eat at 6 o'clock, some people 6:30. Whatever is your dinner time, I leave it to you guys, okay? It's very, very individualistic. Don't force yourself, okay? Don't just eat because it's dinner time for somebody, okay? So now, identify when you are hungry in the evening, have your meal 2. Okay, there is nothing called dinner, supper, all that is obsolete in my concept. So meal 1, meal 2, and that's it. Okay, in between, what can I eat? Many of my friends and colleagues, they ask me. The answer is you can drink a lot of water. Okay, you can have coconut water without that tash, without that starchy substance. Just the coconut water is okay. The buttermilk, okay, not the thick one, the thin one, which is made in the house, okay, and then the green tea, an excellent way to have the drink in between, and then you can eat 1 tomato. Why is this list given here? The reason is this was tested by Dr. Jagannath Dikshit and his team, and it has been given to us. What did they do? They just took 1 tomato, did the glucose level test before and after, and they found that there was no spike. There was no spike in insulin as well as in the glucose level. and that's why we are advised. If you want to do your own research, you can go ahead. You can go ahead and do. If you want to eat aloe, if you want to drink aloe vera juice, for example, you try to do that on your own and see whether you can be successful or not. Okay, that's the research. We will leave it to you, but these are proven one. That means, if you ask me my personal opinion, I will always take a cup of strong coffee, okay, without sugar. So the strong coffee is an excellent thing to start with in the morning. Absolutely, go ahead, but don't put the cane sugar into it. Okay, the cane sugar is a poison according to me. Okay, and whenever, even after lunch, you want to have a cup of coffee or a tea without sugar is always welcome. You can have a little bit of creamer, but no sugar at all. You can add a little bit of milk and drink your tea. I have no objection, but you are not supposed to add any cane sugar or sweeteners or any kind of sweetening agent. All right, that's it. So even for that, I will give you a lot of tips there. How, sir, I am drinking coffee with sugar every day. Now how can it's so bitter? How can I drink it? See, please try to understand our tongue and then our brain. It's all simulated. We have been drinking coffee with sugar and milk for so many years. That's why it's fine tuned to it. Imagine 3 days, 4 days you try, fifth day onwards, if I give you coffee again with the sugar, you will not drink it because our body is going to get used to it. And the real taste of coffee is there when you don't put sugar into it. All right. Now, let me summarize this. This is an important slide. I want every one of you to take screenshot of this and strictly follow. This screenshot is more than enough. Okay, the summary is this: identify 2 times in a day when you are really hungry. It's going to be a big problem for many of you guys because you just eat it even though you are not hungry because it's lunchtime, it's dinner time. It's told by your parents or your school teachers or whatever, right? So we are backed up with so much of protocols and we are just following it, which you should stop it. You should have your meal at your hungry time. So identify it and you will be all right, and stick to it. Okay, keep those 2 times fixed. Variation of 15 to 20 minutes is perfectly all right. Don't worry about it. I'm not a military man to tell you that, but trust me, if you really stick to that time, you will see a lot of benefits. Okay, follow this. Now, try to finish your meal within 55 minutes. No confusion here. If you are a fast eater, if you want to finish it within 10 minutes, 15 minutes, no problem. You can do it. But don't extend beyond 55 minutes. The real reason is that beyond 55 minutes, the brain will think, oh, I need to release the second dosage of insulin. So, which we don't want. This is the real contribution given by Dr. Jagannath Dikshit. He said that you have to finish your meal within 55 minutes. You can finish it at 54th minute. I have no problem because a lot of research is done. Okay, so that is the point. And now, in between the 2 meals, please do not eat anything at all. Okay, please reduce your sugar levels. Even if you're when you are hungry in your meal one, you can eat some sweets and all that. If you are a non-diabetic, okay, but if you are really a diabetic person, it's not recommended to eat a lot of sweets and things like that. But in terms of tasty food, you can eat anything and finish it off within 55 minutes. Please increase more and more protein contents in the meals. All right. So I hope this slide is very clear now. Identifying 2 times a day when you are really hungry, that is the key point. It takes some time. You have to trial and error for first 1 week after you listen to this lecture. After that, you will become used to it. All right. Now, I will show you some of the examples which Dr. Jagannath Dikshit has shared it in his videos. I have just taken the screenshot from him, and these are real success stories that is done in our campaigning. Okay, so what are the success stories? Dr. Rajan Velukar, he is the vice chancellor or ex-vice chancellor of Mumbai University. He was having a lot of complications. He was taking so many pills, and then, this is the pattern. What pill at breakfast time, after breakfast, dinner, blah, 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 blah. And then you can see the dates here. Okay, 16, 11, 2015, his HbA1c was 10. 10, terrible. And then he started taking this 2 meal diet plan. It got reduced gradually. It is in March 2016. And then January 2017, again it went on. Probably he did not strictly follow it, probably, but you can see as he practiced strictly, it came to 6.5, 6.6. Okay, it takes time. It takes time. Okay, you need to diligently follow it because his level was 10, HbA1c 10. Okay, and there is another example here, HbA1c 10.1 started reducing to 9, 8, etc., and it has come to much, much better, 6.2. Okay, the medicines what he used to take is reduced to half in 3 months, and then he completely stopped it later on. Okay, so you can see the visuals here. These are real photos that are shared by the team there. So the person who was he's a doctor, he's an orthopedician. He was celebrating his birthday by sitting on the table because he couldn't even sit on the ground. You can see how much obese he is. He's cutting the cake, but after following this, he became like this, and even perhaps he become a good eater of the right healthy food. Probably he's eating no more cakes, and he's sitting on the floor and celebrating his birthday. You can imagine one not become 82. Wow, outstanding performance. In the same way, this person has lost 7 kgs, HbA1c reduced from 6.1 to 5.4 in just 3 months. Okay, so some people lost 10 kgs, and this person has lost, 107 to 95 kgs in 4 months. HbA1c is the critical thing here. It may not drastically come down to 5.5, for example. Still, you see there is a reduction trend. All right, this person, channel, the photo is so obvious. You can see the difference. I need not even explain further. Photo speaks to itself, right? 90 kg becomes 62 kg. 62 kg is too much. She has done an outstanding work. Okay, so 101 to 83 kgs in 2.5 months. What a great. See, there's a cell phone number as well that is being published here. You can call this person. These are all real cases. This is not makeup ones. Okay, this is realistic one. It has happened, and no medicine, nothing. It's free. Just follow 2 times a day the meal, and you are there. Okay, I'm also saying that you need to do a little bit of walking. I'm not saying that after you convert everything to 2 meal diet plan, sit in the house, do nothing. No, I'm not saying that. Half an hour of daily walking is really essential, okay, to burn the fat. Then there are so many examples here. Okay, we'll just quickly flip through the slides here. So reduce HbA1c from 6.8 to 6. Okay, and then so many examples of 1 or 2 kgs becoming 85.5 kgs. Okay, I will give you my one example. In 90s, I was very lean personality. I used to be known as a very lean and a tall person. As I started working and traveling around the world, I used to eat a lot of pizzas and burgers and all whatever food that you get in Europe and US. It made me very bulkier and fatty person. Almost I got into 95 kilos of weight plus, and then now after last 3 years of 2 meal diet plan, I have lost almost 7 kgs, and then I'm perfectly all right. I do not have any diabetic symptoms and things like that. So I'm a very, very happy person to share my own experience. I just got into some YouTube videos, and I just picked up Jagannath Dixit and his talk on 2 meal diet plan, and I took it seriously. I saw the results, and now I'm spreading this good news to everyone in my friend circle. All right, so we have come to the end of this video. If you have any questions, please type it in the comment section, and I would be glad to answer you whenever I have free time. Thank you very much.